You like the top or you just like to lose? Make a move. Been at the bottom, I got the prove. You gotta choose, make a choice. I need 100 pack for my boys. Be hating and talking and talking and hating. I bet you I kill the noise. I've been a man like I'm Peyton. I boost up my rating. You know how I play with toys. Pop out on any occasion, get standing ovations. They can't help it but rejoice. They all wanna follow me, cause I got my foot on the opposition neck and ain't no apologies. 100 yards, you know I own all the property. Daddy's home, you know I own all the property. You gotta choose. You like the top or you just like to lose? Make a move.
By many accounts, one of the most underrated home venues in all of the NFL resides in the heart of Nashville, Tennessee, and that's where we find ourselves at Nissan Stadium. Today, it's week 3, and we've got a good one in store between the Las Vegas Raiders and the Tennessee Titans. It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Carr right away going to look to throw. Man open is Keelan Cole, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
So operating from Tennessee territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 47. Here's Carr to throw. And the pass complete to Waller on the out route. And the tackle going to be made at the 38. This defense for the Titans, much improved from week 1. They were terrific last week in getting their guys their first win of the season.
This defense certainly has a lot to be proud of coming off of last week's game, because when you only give up 14 points in a contest, you give your team a great chance to win. The best defense in the league is usually going to average giving up 18, 19 points a game. So to be under that, a terrific achievement.
And he'll follow his blockers there all the way down to the 23-yard line. Give him a first down, 15 yards that time for the Raiders.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
What now?
Now a play fake. Carr. Flushed out right. Pass thrown to Adams. He's got it on the crossing route. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete.
It's been a good opening drive offensively thus far, but you know they don't want to waste it and settle for a field goal attempt after that incompletion. So this is a big play coming up here on 3rd down.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Now Carr. And he fires It's intercepted. And the Titans are going to get possession here as they force the opening drive turnover.
Definitely not the ideal time to see that mistake, partner, because this is still a one-possession game, and that's at least a field goal that just vanished with that turnover. Now, pressure's on defensively to prevent that pick from turning into points for the other side.
1st and 10 now. Willis and the Titans at their own 20-yard line. The NFL's leading rusher in 2019 and 2020, Derrick Henry. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead him to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
Second down, they go again with Henry.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
Now Willis to throw. Dancing to his left. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Max Crosby blowing up the play and getting the sack. Here's Ryan Stonehouse now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. It's a 40-yard punt, 4 yards on the return. And the Raiders will have a short field to work with as they take over. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And this lines up a gain of 4 to the 41. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
One thing that offensive guys stress when they throw the deep ball, you're just counting on your receiver to find it, adjust before the defensive back can get his head around. In this case, though, the DB matched it move for move and knocked it away.
And now on third down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the first. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. Throwing his car on third down. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That's a third down conversion of 24 yards there. Nice play.
And that's well executed there on third down there. I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
But one thing we certainly know, he likes to take those risks deep downfield during games, coverage or not. The coverage was there on that one. No catch, but he's also fortunate. No turnover either.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Back to throw again. They swing that out wide to Jacobs. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. What a nice job they did getting to it quickly and holding him to a short gain.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
Carlson able to put this one through. And the Raiders jump out to a 3-0 advantage.
Well, both teams kind of feeling each other out here. And now after 3 drives, we have a score with that field goal.
Yeah, they're still waiting for their breakout drive to come to them, all right? They're using the playbook well. They're looking for that extra section that says touchdowns instead of field goals. But they'll take the 3 for now and try and get set up for more later.
The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys a little bit jumpy.
You do.
Oh, you understand the same way. Just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3
and
and
have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here. And now the throw here is incomplete, and with that, we come to the end of the first quarter of play. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. The threat of a second straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10.
3rd down, it's Willis.
That ball caught by the former Toledo Rocket, Deontay Johnson. He's got this almost to the 40 before going out. The Titans get 14 yards there and move the chains as well. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Willis will look to pass again here.
And the Raiders have got him.
Credit the sack there to Chandler Jones.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
Now that after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23.
Willis with another keeper.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss. And now it's 3rd down.
Pretty good job there defensively of stringing that one out.
Yeah, you've got a quarterback who's waiting and waiting for something to develop. And it just never materialized. And down he went behind the line of scrimmage.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down. Went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
Here's Willis, 3rd and long.
And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down.
That looks like it's going to be 2 empty possessions now to start this football game. I think they're going to have to sit down and talk about what worked for them last week in their win. Sometimes you over-game plan, overthink things. Get back to what works.
It'll be a net of only 30 here. 40-yard punt, 10 on the return.
And it'll be Raiders football, 1st and 10.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders.
And most people think of Derek Carr kind of as a guy who excels throwing the short pass, but he can dial it up when need be.
And as that ball was hanging in the air with the receiver streaking downfield to meet it, here in the stadium, you could just sense the crowd thinking, oh, no. And their worst fears weren't realized as that one turned into a long touchdown.
Yeah, and you see the final number there on how far that ball traveled. Pretty impressive. fields it right around the goal line. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. Looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Rock Ya-Sin. That time defensively looked like they showed quite a bit of pressure, but backed off, and it proved fruitful. They get the pick.
He went through all of his rules about getting rid of the ball quickly because he read blitz. He saw all those people stacked in the line of scrimmage, and then they fooled him by dropping into coverage. Now he's ready to get rid of the ball fast, but guess what? Too many defenders out there. Exactly as you described, an interception.
Slot man moves right. Here's Jacobs. And he stopped immediately there. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be second and goal.
Definitely an important sequence here for this defense. They've had their share of struggles in this first half. They just cannot afford to give up another touchdown here.
On second and goal, Carr. Throw right side going to be caught by Waller. Only able to pick up 2, and that leads us to third and goal.
Such a tough position to defend near the line, even when you add a second defender, but the big man shrugged off the extra body and made the play call a success.
Carr now on third and goal. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. Touchdown, Raiders. Josh Jacobs, his second touchdown on the season. And his guys now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that makes our score 17-0. On is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. From the 6. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Here we go, here we go.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder, coming up in a couple of minutes' time, we'll pay a visit to Jonathan Coachman, the coach in our EA Sports studios. They'll have a look back at the next-gen stats from this first half of action. 8 yards to go on second down. They go play action with Willis. Oh, that'll be incomplete. Oh, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a third down.
Well, this defense is certainly organized and playing off of each other because the rush is providing pressure and the coverage is forcing incompletions and capitalizing on mistakes. When you get every level on defense hitting at once, you get first half scores just like this one.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
This defense has certainly played well so far in this game, and the coverage has been tight on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, and now it brings up fourth down.
Taken from just outside the 30. That'll go as a 42-yard punt, but a net of 32. They had a 10-yard return, and the Raiders will take over now, first and 10. The Raider offense set to get this drive started.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Looking deep for Adams. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Good defensive call right there because they had someone shadowing him along his entire route. And he was right there ready to provide a hit that prevents him from making another catch to his big start.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Throwing now is Carr. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. On 4th down, A.J. Cole comes on to punt. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. 1st and 10 here. You know, if they could just get 3 out of this, there's something about narrowing it to a 2-score game at half that makes it feel like much less of an obstacle. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Back to throw, Willis. Looking downfield for Jones. This is intercepted. Picked off by Rock Ya-Sin. And the Raiders are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield.
I believe this is what you would call growing pains here, partner, because this defense obviously took the challenge facing the rookie, and they wanted to help indoctrinate him to the NFL. So now the big question is, can he answer that challenge and rebound with plenty of time remaining in this game?
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Play action. Now it's Carr. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked by Kevin Byard. And the Titans are going to take over at their own 30-yard line. Well, Charles, you're so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Titans going to get the ball to start the second half, and they trail here as we get back to it on EA Sports. Here's Trenton Cannon on the return for his end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding...
Willis throws another interception, his 3rd of the game. Picked off by Rock Ya-Sin. And the Raiders are going to take possession of the football. And that one is going to sting. First play of the 3rd quarter and a turnover.
And you have to know that at halftime, they spent a lot of time going through their checklist of what they wanted to accomplish to start this 3rd quarter. Turning it over like this was not on that list.
Not at all. And you come out of the locker room trailing, so that first drive to establish momentum is very key.
Crucial.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
And now defensively, you have to look at this like the game's on the line. It's just the 3rd quarter, but another touchdown given up here could really spell an end to their chances, so they need to toughen up and keep them out of the end zone.
And that's going to be caught for a Raider touchdown. 3rd touchdown pass now for Derek Carr. And the Raiders take the forced turnover on defense and convert it into 6 points. And now, of course, all scoring plays are reviewed, and I think they're going to take an extra long look at this one. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead is now 24. On is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. Take it in at the 3. And able to get this out to the 25. Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Rock Ya-Sin. Charles, are you kidding me? 4 interceptions? I mean, that's a good season for a lot of defensive backs.
A lot of reason to get voted into the Pro Bowl. When you have 4 in one game, I mean, talk about a campaign slogan, right? I got 4. Send me to the Pro Bowl, guys. What a game we've experienced watching this one.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Now after the INT, it's Carr. Catch is made by Hunter Renfrow. And he'll be brought down at the 27.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
Carr now on 1st down. Aiming for Jacobs. He's got him. Reeling it in on the out route. Touchdown. Make it 4 touchdown passes now for Derek Carr. And the Raiders are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Well, familiar refrain. A turnover leads to a touchdown, and that lead grows even wider now here in this 3rd quarter.
Yeah, partner, I'd say there are a lot of grins breaking out on that sideline because, let's face it, they came in thinking they were in for a real fight in this game, but this one's been about as one-sided as we've seen in a while. In addition, if you're a backup, Time to start stretching and loosening up. You may get some playing time in this one.
On as the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. Cannon now elects to bring this out. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. We haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to the...
Willis takes a hit and the ball is free, and the Raiders pick it up. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return for 6 and a Raider touchdown. So the defense forces the fumble. They get the score. And a guy on defense becoming offensive there, Charles.
And you know they love that. Any guy on defense loves to pick up the ball and have it in his hands and try and score himself. In this case, that's exactly what happened.
He'll be singing in the shower post-game. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. A win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. All right, so they got that one, Charles, against the center.
And let's remember how difficult it is for the center, because remember, he's got to snap the ball to put the play in motion, and sometimes you got that big guy on your nose. You got sometimes where he's coming at you at an angle. It's a difficult job for him to snap the ball and then execute his block.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold.
Mustang 19. Go.
To throw, here's Willis. Escaping the pressure right. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
His impatience has to be bubbling over, trying to find a way to get his team to the end zone for the first time. He did find a way to break contain and get outside to buy his receivers a little extra time, but the connection couldn't be made on that throw.
60 Maverick. 60 Maverick. Buffalo 18.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked off by Trayvon Merritt. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score. Carlson on for the PAT. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter.
Makes the score Raiders 45, Titans nothing.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. Take it in at the 3. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20.
The Titans take over first and 10 at their own 18-yard line.
Ready?
First and 10 now. Willis and the Titans at their own 18. He'll start with a give to Henry. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. 2 yards the loss, second and 12.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Play action. Here's Willis. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Trayvon Merritt. And the Raiders are going to take possession of the football.
Well, let's face it, Brandon, they're down here in the second half. Want to try and make something happen, and if you're the guy with the ball in your hands, you're going to try even harder, because I think all he was trying to do was to get outside the pocket and see if he can find a big play downfield.
Touchdown, Raiders!
And there's a situation where, as a tight end, once he gets that end zone in his sights, he's not going to back down from anyone. He doesn't worry about running to daylight. He doesn't mind running through contact. That's totally fine by him.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. The disparity in this game, it just seems to grow with each possession here, Charles. They are really struggling. They have not put up a single point, and on the other side, the points keep piling up and up and up.
So you know the frustration level has to be rising, right? So they've got to find a way to quell that, because otherwise they certainly won't get anything done in this one. Keep diving deeper into the offensive playbook. The bottom line is don't quit competing.
Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up first and 10. Play fake. Here's Willis. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
Off the play fake, here's Willis. This one complete to his fullback out of the backfield. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
Cowboy 80.
Tenth carry now for Derrick Henry. Henry fighting for the marker, but I don't think he got there. He did not.
60 Eagles, 60 Eagles.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
Here we go, here we go.
They get this out quickly to the left side. And now this is going to depend on the spot. And they say he's just short. The Titans try it, but ultimately they fail on fourth down. And the Raiders with the football now in excellent field position. They fake the handoff. Now Carr. He'll look downfield for Waller. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, I think it's pretty evident that any blowout isn't going to be big enough for them. They're already up 7 full touchdowns, and it's still not stopping them from throwing it deep downfield, taking their shots, trying to add more points.
Carr's throw taken in by Adams. He'll get it inside the 20, and they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a first?
No let up in this passing game. They've been a well-oiled machine throughout, and I actually saw a few guys on the sidelines at the end of the third quarter doing the old hold up 4 fingers college sign, meaning the fourth quarter is ours, and they certainly weren't kidding.
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on second down.
8 yards on the pickup. Brings up 2nd and 2.
Second down, Jacobs once more. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. This offense so far on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 3. Trying to run for it with Jacobs. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Josh Jacobs, his 2nd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Raiders look like they're about to put an end to their 2-game losing streak as they add on to their lead. And his kick is good, and flags fly as well. Some frustration showing through right now. This is going to be a roughing call. After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. First and 10 now. Willis and the Titans at their 25-yard line. It's a play fake. Here's Willis. Open man downfield is Johnson. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
On second down, here's Henry. And he's going to be close to a first down as he gets this to the Raiders' 30. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. Willis now off of play action. They'll roll him out right. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Trayvon Merrick. And the Raiders are going to take over once again at their own 25-yard line.
Partner, have you ever heard the story of Icarus in mythology? That's the guy who flew too close to the sun and had his wings melted. That was our guy right there. Keeps pressing it and pressing it. Finally, on that throw, he paid the price with that turnover.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball in a comfortable fourth quarter lead. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. Defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, and one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
On second down, Jacobs. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. A yard in the wrong direction makes third down tougher. Third down and 9. This offense has had a lot to like in this game. I don't know that last play though is going to make the highlight reel.
It's not going to make the highlight reel, but it will be the focus of the film session that the team has to sit through. I've sat through those before. Never any fun. You're always excited about your good plays, and they actually fast forward through those. All right, that was good. All right, great. They get to the bad ones and really illuminate them. Not cool.
It's caught here by Adams. And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
There's a beautiful throw there, and he's been sensational the entire game, moving it around, spreading it, hitting the right guys. And look, under normal situations, partner, I would expect him to come out of the game now. They've got it in hand. But you and I have been around this league a long time, and every time we ask head coaches about it, hey, why don't you take your quarterback out when the game's in hand? They just kind of give us that look like that's what he's paid to do. So it's a very unusual situation. I'd want him out. They tend to leave him in.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Well, let's face it, not a lot left for them to prove in this game, but they're still throwing the football. I guess, of course, CD, you can always get the backups some work. There's new plays to try out. But some people, let's face it, they just want to run the score up. It's fun.
I love the way that you expressed that because you gave plenty of reasons why people like to do things. But ultimately, they just like to keep their foot on the gas, and they just want to tromp on teams. And what I like to see is, if you like to do that, how do you handle it when it comes back against you? On those days where someone can run it up on you, do you handle it the way that you expect your opponent to? If so, keep doing your thing.
The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll get it with just under 90 seconds remaining. Here's A.J. Cole now as he'll kick it away for the second time. Call that a 44-yard punt, 5 on the return, and it'll be Titan football.
At their own 19-yard line.
Let's go now.
Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the fourth quarter, facing the big deficit. What silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
You know, it's funny, I talked about this with a coach in the offseason and kind of had this scenario, like what feels good to you and what feels good to your team. You're down big. You really have like one possession left, and you're trying to put points on the board that don't matter. But do they? And he told me they actually do matter. And in this situation, he's going to try and run the best offense he can run, have at least a little bit of confidence to take away from that game. So right now, they're going to try their best to get something up on the board and not get shut out.
5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
Brings up 3rd and 5.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. On 3rd down, Henry. And I don't think he got there, no. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches. Willis, 4th down, has to have it. He completes it to Beckham. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Henry out of the pistol. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5.
Now Willis to throw. Looking for the end zone. And it'll be intercepted. Picked up by Rock Ya-Sin. And the Raiders are going to take possession here as they've got it at their own 4-yard line. Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis.
And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Christian Fulton. And the Titans are going to take possession of the football. That is now seven interceptions between last week and this week. 3 in this game, 4 a week ago.
And I saw the head coach write on his play sheet, make a little note. I hope he's writing self-scout. Bring in the guys that scout games for you with a different eye and watch it and see what's going on, and maybe they can pick up what the flaws are, and hopefully they can correct them.
Now Tennessee going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game. They'll give Henry another shot. That time the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, you can't hold them.
70, give a look.
Willis. Buying time to his left. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. And now we'll get a timeout here. They're able to stop it with 1 second to go in this game.
Well, it certainly appears to me that the defensive guys are starting to look a little bit tired while he still has some fresh legs. Not the biggest gain we've seen on a scramble, but still some positive yardage on a play that initially looked like a sure win for the defense.
So this one a victory for the Las Vegas Raiders. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for Las Vegas, they're into the win column now as they move to 1-2 on the young season. And they'll be back home next week to take on the Denver Broncos. Meanwhile, for the Titans, they will fall to a similar mark at 1-2. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Indianapolis to take on the Colts.
You spent your whole life trying to blow up, but Elohim never had time for donuts. The beat go ham, no time for cold cuts. The game like big bitch came to join up. Yeah, I'm still independent. They sold 1 million records, yeah. Used to be on my checklist. Big diamonds don't need a necklace. Look, we built the sound like it's double speed.